stream. Let me get a few things out of the image or the view. But it's really good to be here with you guys on a Sunday. And I'm going to talk to you about shiny objects. What I found is that I might do better with my camera on this tripod. So if it looks like I'm looking up in the air, I'm not. I'm just looking directly at my camera. And the camera that I'm speaking of is my phone. I want you to know that I have not gone out to buy anything that I haven't already had as I conduct this live stream. Most of my live streams have been done on my computer unless I was in my car. And when I'm in my when I'm in my car, the device that holds up the camera in my windshield, it's much more accessible to just be in vertical. So what it seems that, or what I've learned doing my research, is that of all the people who are using technology, the majority of the people are using a cell phone in vertical mode. And this seems to me what YouTube might be promoting the most. I still enjoy my horizontal videos, and I think I will continue to do them, but I may overall resort to the vertical ones. If you are one of the individuals who watch my midnight post, then the majority of those are in horizontal mode because they are already pre-done, and I'm not going to go back and redo them. So thank you so much for joining me today. And it looks like Johith, let's say J-Y-O, Joithith maybe. If I am pronouncing your name incorrectly, trust it to my head and not my heart. So I'm just trying to read it phonetically. That's fine, Joithith. Thank you for just stopping in to say hello. If you can, just give me a thumbs up, which I think you already have. I appreciate it. One more thing before you go. If you should catch one of my restreams, and in most cases, I'm not there on the restream, in most cases, people are not, it will help me greatly if you will give a thumbs up and leave a comment, even though I will not be there to respond to you immediately. The reason it is important is because it helps the algorithm send more people to see the restream. Finally, I want you to know that I am less than 120 people away from having my 1,000 watched hours. Oh, I said that wrong. From having my 1,000 subscribers. I believe that you are already a subscriber to my channel and you are a part of that 1,000. So thank you so much for being who you are and supporting me in my channel and the opportunity to become the YouTuber partner that I'm striving toward by December 31st, 2024. All right, go to sleep now. Have a good rest, and I'll catch you at another time. Thank you so much for coming. Now, I do this live stream for the people that will listen, and I do it also for myself. For those of you who will watch the replay, know that when you do a live stream, you are increasing the number of watched hours that you are working toward, which would be a total of 4,000. Now, I have a goal of having 4,000 watched hours by December 31st, so the challenge is ahead of me. However, I'm not looking at 4,000 hours today. I'm only looking at what I'm capable of doing today. Now, I have strategized how I can get the remaining hours that I need. I have, I think, about 500 hours. Let's just say 500. This leaves me with 3,500 hours, and I need to divide that up into X number of days. How many hours do I need to have by the end of December 31st, which will provide me the opportunity to be a partner with YouTube. Today, I spent a lot of time in other live streams offering support, encouragement, and learning things that I didn't already know and will benefit me on my journey. As I offered to those who wanted my help in terms of understanding what it means to be a strategist, I was there to provide my insight into what might be beneficial. And what might be beneficial is recognizing what a shiny object is and how to avoid being distracted by a shiny object. Most individuals, and I mean most individuals do not know how to not be distracted by shiny objects, myself included. And it doesn't limit itself to being on YouTube, but it certainly does emphasize the importance of not being distracted when you're on YouTube. So here's the thing. There are many paths that an individual can take to reach a goal. No two people are necessarily required to follow the same path to reach a goal. When you can understand that, that is the beginning of being on the path of reaching a sustainable goal. Now let's just talk about being on YouTube. Many people want to be on YouTube, but they are distracted by what I'm calling shiny objects. Let me give you an example of a shiny object. An example of a shiny object is to look at what someone else is doing without even understanding how they are able to do it. Most individuals on YouTube with a YouTube channel are over the age of 18. And I'm going to quantify being over 18 as being mature. You are mature enough to think. Whether that thinking is rational or not, you have the ability to think. Now let's put in the ability to think rationally. When you are excited about something, and when I say you, I'm talking about me, but if it applies to you, then let it be. But for the sake of the conversation, I'm going to say you. And when I can remember, I'll say I. Now, when I am decisively clear on some of the things that I want, I'll just make up my mind that, I think I want this. And let's just say that it is a car. And I have decisively said that I want a car. A few things that I need to consider is the car payment. Am I able to make a monthly car payment to the amount of whatever it is? Do I have income coming in that is not going to take away from the things that I need to live as I live with the purchase of this car? So those are just a few things that I have to think about and rationalize. I know what I want, but can I really afford it? And if I can't afford it, by what means am I able to afford this car? So here's the juxtaposition of making the decision. And it comes with having a strategy. Almost everything that I do, I present it as a strategy that has a solution. When you have a strategy and there's a solution, this is the things that I consider. Now let me turn my attention to YouTube. In September, hey Bree, thank you for joining me today. And the topic for today is shiny objects. Now you notice that I do wear glasses, so if you type something, I'll have to come forward to see. Thank you so much for the thumbs up and remembering to do so. I appreciate you. Today I'm talking about shiny objects, and I want to preface the conversation with, when I say you, I'm only talking about myself. But for the conversation the ease at which I speak, I may say you, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. And I've turned my attention to building a partnership with YouTube. On September 30th, I turned 71. And on September 25th, I decided that I was going to make my YouTube channel monetized. Okay? Now, I started my YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, in February. Being on YouTube is not something new to me. I have talked on YouTube for about 15 to 20 years, more like 20. So I'm not a stranger to talking on YouTube, and I'm quite comfortable talking about, yes, the things that I know. If I don't know something, I may not be as comfortable, but I do understand some of the things about YouTube. Now, on September 30th, I decided that I was going to become a YouTube partner and monetize my channel. We all know, or many of us know, that it takes 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours. Those are two obstacles that I need to overcome to become a YouTube partner. In so doing, I said, what strategy could I put in place to ensure that I can reach those goals? I live in the U.S. Let me just make that clear. I live in the U.S. and rarely do I have a loss of power. If you live in the U.S. or if I live in the U.S. and I have a loss of power, it is because I probably didn't make the monthly payment for the bill. I have a stable internet provider that every month that I pay the bill, I have technology available to me. This is not necessarily true in developing countries. So I could say that that could be an obstacle. What could be an obstacle for me may not be an obstacle for someone else, or what could be an obstacle for someone else may not be an obstacle for me. But obstacles are universal. Obstacles are universal. So let's be clear about obstacles. It would be unrealistic for some people to think that they could be online and they lived in a country where the power goes out. It's unrealistic to think that you can be online 24 hours a day. I can actually be online 24 hours a day without any interruptions. Now, physically, I'm not going to be online 24 hours a day, but I can run a restream. I can do live mini-series like I do at midnight. Every night I have something showing at midnight every night. And then I do a live like I'm doing now every day for 15 to 30 minutes. I do this every single day because I can do it. For some people, this would not be possible. Knowing that you can't do that, you have to find a workaround. Now, here are some things that I can say could be a workaround. A workaround could be you can always record things in advance with your phone, if you have a phone. And if you don't have a phone, you probably don't use the YouTube either. But if you have a phone, you can record anything during the time that you have a charged phone. You don't need an internet to record something. This much I know. Okay, so the Heart Sync podcast. Hello, everyone. Hey, Power and Redemption. Hey, Breeze World. And so what I'm just sharing with individuals is this. What you're seeing as an obstacle only becomes a distraction, one of those shiny objects. And those shiny objects sometimes represents procrastination. If I'm looking for an excuse not to do something, they are a dime a dozen. They come naturally. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. I can't do this because I can't do that. Do you know how that sounds to someone who is really on a mission to accomplish something. I'm just being real. I'm just being very real to you that what is an obstacle for you is something that you are allowing to be a distraction. So let me say it again. What you see as an distraction or what you see as an obstacle, once you identify it as an obstacle, that obstacle no longer exists. My mother had dentures, like they were not her real teeth, but my mother had the prettiest dentures one could ever see. They were prettier than what I think my teeth are. I had my teeth, but she had dentures. She actually took better care of her dentures than I even do with my own set of teeth. I digress. Now, let me go back to the shiny objects and those of you who want to achieve a goal. First, there are many paths to achieve any goal. This YouTube channel started for me on September 30th because I needed to go live vertically in my car, and I needed to have 50 subscribers before I could go live on my cell phone. That was an obstacle for me. So I had to remove the obstacle and find a way to get my 50 subscribers. And I was able to get my 50 subscribers from people such as you. Now, I don't know when you joined my YouTube channel, but if you were one of the first 50 to join my YouTube channel, thank you so much. And if you were not one of the first 50, I'm really happy that you're here with me now because I'm on my way to 1,000. I need less than 170 subscribers before I'm monetized. In September, I had an overarching goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by December 31st. I'm well on my way to having that before December 31st. But if I don't, I won't be devastated because my date is set for December 31st. And that meant that I needed to have 10 subscribers every day, 10 new subscribers every day. Some days I got more than 10. Some days I've gotten 24. And I got those subscribers by doing exactly what I'm doing now, by being on live stream, talking to individuals like yourself. And could we term obstacles as illusions? Well, I don't know that we can call them illusions because obstacles really are something that is factual. An illusion is something like a daydream, something that you can't really see. It could be a dream. Like, I have an illusion of living in a 5-story home. That's an illusion, or that's a dream. But it just depends. So I won't say no, but let me just tell you what an obstacle is. An obstacle is something that prevents you from doing something. This is a cell phone I've had for 10 years, and it's beautiful, isn't it? It's really nice. And it was just sitting in the drawer in my bedroom because I did not know that I could just plug it in and use it as something to go to YouTube. But I don't know where the card is. I don't know where the card is to charge it. That's an obstacle for me. Now, until I remove this obstacle, this is really useless. So I may as well just toss it because it has no value to me. But as soon as I can replace the problem, it is no longer an obstacle. So if you know what an obstacle is, either you can do something about it or you can choose not to. I can choose not to get a cord to charge it. And it's no longer an obstacle because I've made a decision that I'm not going to use it anyway. I hope that is clear. If not, I will continue. So let me just say, heart sync with the podcast. Where do you live? Could you tell me in the chat, where do you live? Okay, you get the idea? Okay, great. Well, then it doesn't matter where you live because I was just going to give you an example of how to overcome obstacles. Okay, so you live in Kenya. That might be an obstacle. So let me ask you, does the power ever go out in Kenya? Does the power ever go out in Kenya? Like darkness and you can't use your cell phone and you can't get onto the internet? Yes. Thank you for letting me use you as an example. That is an obstacle. It is an obstacle that you can't really do anything about, just like my cell phone. But the one thing that you can do, because I have it here in the United States, I have daylight. I have natural light. The sun shines here in the US just like it does in Kenya. And because I know you have a cell phone or a computer, you are using a cell phone or a computer right now. Is that correct? Heart sync, are you using a computer or a cell phone now? Yes or no? Yes or no? Quickly, yes or no? Thank you for the 5 thumbs up. Yay! Thank you. Okay, so there you have a yes for me. Now, if you have a cell phone and you have a recording device where you can take pictures, if you can take pictures and record, oh, Carol, you don't have a camera on your phone? Well, there will be a solution for you as well. So now I'm just addressing for heart sync. If you have a cell phone and it has a camera that can record, that is my question. Heart sync, is that a yes for me? That you do have a camera with a cell phone, that you have a camera on your phone? Yes. Okay. So we are removing the obstacles now. And I'm going to believe that you will agree that the sun rises in Kenya just like the sun rises in the US. So you have daylight. During the daylight hours, yay for the sun that God provides, you can use your recording device on your cell phone and record what you would upload on your computer when there is light. Even if you have a hurricane, as we did 2 months ago in North Carolina, which is where I live, and the wind blew the roof off of my house. I didn't have to leave my house though. It just moved, it blew the shingles off. I didn't lose the power, but it was an inconvenience because the rain did come in and wet the ceiling of my house, but it didn't prevent me from going live on YouTube. Now, let me go back to those of you who have power interruptions. If you're having power interruptions, it would be in your best interest to record things ahead of time. Oh my goodness. Record something ahead of time. When am I supposed to sleep? When am I supposed to engage with my family? When am I supposed to go to work? When am I supposed to blah, 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 blah. If you can't find the solution to that, then I'm just being honest. YouTube may not be for you right now until the children are grown and out of the house. This is not the time for you to try to do YouTube. If you can imagine, this is a true story. In Asheville, North Carolina, where my son was born, the storm that I was telling you about that took the roof off of my house, the area was devastated. They closed major highways because bridges were out. There was no way to get into the city of Asheville easily. People's homes were destroyed because of the flooding. Imagine this with me if you can. Schools were closed because the schools were washed away or flooded, and there was no entrance into the schools. Even if there were entrances to the schools, teachers who teach the children had no place to live because their homes were destroyed. If, for example, the teachers were able to get to school to teach, there were no children to teach because their homes were destroyed. This is what our government did, and my son's employer did, and the things that I did. I contributed money to that disaster area. The government had service vehicles bringing in food, water, clothing, tents to help those people struggle through this disaster. My son's employer sent their employees, some of them from Toyota, to Asheville, North Carolina to help. The mayor or the council in North Carolina said, stop, because this is what is happening now in Asheville, North Carolina. The water is sitting outside in the sun, becoming harmed by the rays. Clothing that is sitting out in baskets and barrels is being wet by the current rain because there's no place to store these things. So the government is not allowing anyone to bring any more voluntarily things into Asheville, North Carolina. We want to give, but the people have no place or resources to place these things that they're getting. Even if people were lined up in lines to collect stuff, where are they going to put the stuff? They have no place to live, if you get my point. That is an obstacle. So how do we overcome this obstacle? We overcome this obstacle by doing what we can with what we have. Not about what if. What if. That has no relevance right now. We have to deal with what we have. I hope you're getting my point. So I'm going to stop talking now and wait to see if anyone has any points or questions. Hey, Star, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. And thumbs up, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I hope that I have helped all of you remove any obstacle as it relates to power outages. And I hope that I have helped you to understand that shiny objects are distractions. Now, finally, I want to say, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider becoming a subscriber to my channel, and I will be very happy to respond to anything that you may ask me and help you in any way that I can for you to reach your goals. Goals are not necessarily easy to achieve, but any goal that you can see and imagine yourself accomplishing can be accomplished. Now, I'm talking about realistic goals. I'm talking about if you want a brand new car, Alexa, stop. If you want a car that is a 2025 car and you can't realistically see yourself getting the car, then I could tell you realistically you're not going to get the car. But if you can imagine yourself getting it, then there are strategies that will help you achieve it. And heart, I look forward to achieving my goals. And that's fantastic. So let me ask you, Heart, what is a goal that you have in mind? So remember, I had this overarching goal, which is my big, bodacious goal, to become a YouTube partner by December 31st, 2024. Now, that was my big goal on September 30th, but I had to break that goal down into micro steps and determine what it is that I need to do in order to achieve that, to be there by December 25. If you say that you want to achieve a goal by December 25 and you break it down and there's no way that you can do it by December 25, you need to adjust your goal. I could say that I could say I will be a subscriber. I could say I will be a YouTube partner by November 30th, 2024. That would be maybe 14 days from now. If I'm going to be a YouTube partner by November 30th, 2024, that means I'm going to have maybe 25 subscribers every day and 300 or 400 watched hours every day until that time. That is unrealistic. That is very unrealistic for me. It may not be unrealistic for someone else, but it's unrealistic for me. So I don't set that as a goal. But my goal of being a YouTube subscriber on December 31st is achievable by getting 10 subscribers every day. And I'm already ahead of schedule, but I'm still leaving that as my goal at 10 subscribers every day. So I was asking you, HeartSync, what is one goal? And we'll walk you through that one goal if you want. I'll do that now before I log off. So, Star, I appreciate you so much. And it was such a sweet thing to see the young little girl showing us how to do something today. And I will tell you that the more time we spend with the young people showing an interest in the things that we do or in the things that they're doing, they're going to develop into strong, independent people because we are encouraging them to share, to do more for themselves. And it seems that she was really enjoying the craft she was working on. Okay, so Heart, I guess you're not going to answer, and that's perfectly fine. My goal is reach 1,000 subs by December 31st. Oh, okay. So let me ask you, how many subs do you have now? How many subs do you have now? And we'll walk you through getting your subscribers. How many subscribers do you have now? I could actually check. You have 126 subs now, or you only need 126? Tell me, my goal is to finish my diamond painting I'm working on today. Star, I know that you will reach your goal because I have the evidence and you've got the receipts. I see you working on it. You're sharing it with your audience, like people like me who are so excited to see you work on what it is that you're doing. And the reason you're going to finish it is because you want us to see it. You want to share it with us, and you know that we're going to be appreciative. So you will reach that goal. You didn't give me a date, though, Star, as to when you're going to finish it. You have to have a start date, because if you don't give a date, it's whenever. Now, HeartSync, I'm going to ask you something, and you have to think about it realistically. I'm going to ask my Alexa to help me with this. Alexa, Alexa, if I need 100, no, Alexa, I have 126 subscribers. I need 1,000.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Okay. Alexa, 1000 minus 126 equals.
1000 minus 126 is 874.
Okay, so Heart, it says that you need 874 subscribers. Let me ask Alexa. Alexa, 874 divided by 45.
874 divided by 45 is approximately 19.4222.
Okay, Alexa says you will need about 20 subscribers per day in order to reach your goal. Heart, you will need 20 subscribers per day to reach your goal. Heart, where do you live? Where do you live, Heart? Do you live in the US? Do you live in Kenya? Where do you live? Okay, so Heart Sync, if you live in Kenya, I just want you to be realistic. Just think about this realistically. And you can exceed your goal just as I'm exceeding my goal. But do you realistically see yourself having 20 subscribers every day? That's the question. Thank you, Star. So my question would be, what are you doing to achieve 1 subscriber? And then we'll talk about what you're doing, what you'll need to do to get 20, because you need 20 every day. I only need 200 and I'm getting 10 a day. I have to get 10 every day, at least. So tell me, what are you doing to get, what can you do to get 20 subscribers every day? And you have to be realistic when you're saying that. So I go live at least twice a week. Okay, that's wonderful. I go live every day. I go live every day for 30 minutes. And I never pictured the daily count. You don't you you will need to picture, you will need to visualize, which is the same as picture. You'll need to visualize this. So let me ask you, Heart, and be honest. You can lie if you want. But from the time that you have started doing lives, have you ever gotten 5 subscribers in a day? What is the most number of subscribers you have gotten in one day? Heart Sync, please answer. So Star is going to subscribe. So you're going to get 1 subscriber at least today. The least most maybe 10. Okay, so let's just say that if the least amount that you've ever, wait a minute. Okay, yes. The least amount you've gotten is 10. What is the most amount of subscribers you've ever gotten in one day? What is the highest number of subscribers you've ever gotten in one day? Well, maybe not, Star. Let's walk it through. We'll walk through it. To be honest, you got 11. Okay, you got 11 in one day. How many times have you ever gotten 11 subscribers in one day? How many times was it 1? Was it 10? And it could not have been much more than, Alexa, 126 divided by 11.
126 divided by 11 is approximately 11.4545.
Okay, so Alexa tells me that in 11 days, not 11, well, 11 days, 11 times, that is the maximum. You could have gotten 11 people per day to get to 126 subscribers that you currently have. So if you're only going on live 3 times a week, that math isn't really adding up. So there must be some days when you've had far fewer than 11. I noticed you only started 2 weeks ago, Heart. Okay, so, Heart, according to Star, you started 2 weeks ago. And if you've only been going live for 3 times a week, you've only been on 6 times. You've only been live 6 times. I'm not discrediting you. I'm just talking about I'm just talking about those shiny objects and being realistic. I know what we want. I want a brand new car, but I don't want a car payment. I don't want to get a job outside of my house. So the chances of me getting a new car, a 2025 car, is 0. Okay? So I want you to think about this realistically. That's all that I'm saying. Now, if you believe that you can get 11 people, not 11, if you can get 20 people per day, and the highest amount of people you've ever gotten is 11, I think your goal is unrealistic. But you might get lucky like me, because my goal is December to be here. But I'm going to be there before December, but I'm not going to allow myself to be disappointed because I've set the goal here. You're doing great, but for subscribers, start with a small goal and increase from their heart. That's exactly what I want to say. You start small so that you don't get burnt out and you don't get frustrated. So this is what I say for my live streams, like the one that I'm doing right now. I say that I'm going to do 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day. And that allows me not to get frustrated, because if no one shows up, I only said I was going to be on for 15 minutes and then I'm out. But now, because I have a small audience, I've already extended myself from 15 minutes to 30, and I'm going on into 45 minutes, which is perfectly fine because the lights are on and I'm not having any difficulty. Now, I will tell you, because you just said that you live in Kenya, that the electricity is not sustainable. It's not dependable. So you cannot say definitively that you're going to get 20 people every day. But with your goal being set at December, it is not achievable. It's not achievable as a goal, because you cannot include in goals those things that would be called miracles. You cannot include a miracle as a part of your goal. So what you're talking about is a miracle, and that miracle cannot be counted in. You cannot factor that in as a part of your goal. Your goal has to be realistic, measurable, achievable, timely, and there's something else. And it's called a STAR. I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but anyway, there's that. So I'm just going to leave it with you that this is not realistic. Now, what I could say is that you can reassess your goals and say that you will get 1 subscriber every day, but you will get more. Your goal could be to get 1 subscriber every day and be a YouTuber partner by December 2026. Just so that, but you can get there before then. But it's critical that you understand what your obstacles are, how you are going to remove those obstacles. And you can always change your goals once you see that you are progressing. I could change my goal and say that by November 31st, by November 30th, I will have my 1,000 subscribers, which mentally, I know that I will be there. In fact, I believe I will have my 1,000 subscribers by Sunday. But I don't want to disappoint myself, so I'm not going to change the goalpost. I'm going to keep it at December 31st, so I can come online and say, I got my 1,000 subscribers. And people are going to watch, and they're going to say, what did she do? What did she do? and I'll get more subscribers because they'll say, she did it. It's a possibility, but I didn't just get the 1,000 subscribers. But when you see that I did it, it's going to make, not necessarily you, someone's going to click on it. Oh, I wonder what she did. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me as I say it. Okay. So Heart says that I'll reassess my objectives. And you could really do that right now, Heart. You could reassess and commit something to yourself right now. It's up to you whether you do it or not. There's no one that's going to, oh, you got to do this, you got to do it. No one is going to do that. But you have to hold yourself accountable to what you know that you can do. So those of you who live in Kenya, I've just given you the strategy to remove the obstacle of not having power because it goes out. If you're serious about this business, and I can tell you, because I have a grandson and I have a son. My son is 39, so he's not a child. The trials, the tribulations, the things that we had to go through to get from point A to point B was being realistic about certain things. We may want something, we may desire something, but are we disciplined enough to work within the confinement of what we have available to us to achieve it? And I said, obstacles are universal. Obstacles are universal. Now, let me give you an example of a universal obstacle. I'm going to make an assumption. I don't know. I really don't know. But in Kenya, I think that you can eat from your land. You've got some chickens. You may have some cows. You may have some garden foods out there. You may have any number of things. Let the grocery store close in my neighborhood and I'm going to starve because I don't have any food outside. I don't have any chickens. I don't have a garden. I don't have anything. I'm going to be hungry. That is an obstacle. Hi, Macy! Yay! Macy has been very instrumental in my reaching my goals. Things that I didn't know, I learned by visiting other people's live streams. So many of you may have heard of Restream. If you haven't, I'm going to tell you about Restream. Macy told me that my Restreams were being streamed horizontally. I never knew that because when I look at my computer, it looked like it was vertical. She told me that there's a little symbol over to the right that I had to click on so that it would be vertical. I never look at my restreams. I never did. I do now. I never looked at my restreams on my phone. I looked at my restreams on my computer. So when I changed it, now when people see my restreams, they can, whatever they do is whatever they do. So I'm just saying that is important for you all to recognize when you go to other channels. Sometimes you're going to network. Sometimes you're going to network and learn. And other times you're going to share something that you know. Like Macy didn't hesitate to take the time. She took the time to share with me. She put her computer up and showed me, look, right here. Like, who does that? I do that now, like I'm doing now, to help people understand that you have to have a strategy. It doesn't have to be my strategy, but it needs to be a realistic strategy. And just picking a number out of your head, it isn't going to work that way. And that is me sharing what I can share with you all today. So thank you so much for coming today, Macy. I'm glad that you were able to catch me live. You get to see me. I don't know that you've actually ever met me before, but here I am. Much love to you. It's good to see you. and I'm really happy that you're here with me. Uche, hello. You all are coming in now, and I'm getting ready to go. But Uche, good news. I am now 100 and probably 170 people away from having my 1,000 subscribers. Doot, 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 doot. I'm so excited. Star, I suggest to Heart to make a few shorts so people can watch and subscribe to you that way. I think it helps on your journey here on the YouTube. Exactly. It will exactly help, just as I was saying about my restreams, and make sure that they're vertical. That will help. So thank you for coming, Star. Thank you, Star, for helping to support with your comments as well. And let's see. Everybody be sure to give me a thumbs up before you go. Star, thank you for coming. Heart, thank you for coming. Bree, thank you for coming. Carol, thank you for coming. Josset, thank you for coming. And I hope that this was informative for you. If not, it still helped me reach more hours that I will need to add to the total of 4,000 that I will need by December 31st. So, if no one else has questions for me, I am going to end this live stream and let you know again, I do have a strategy that is working perfectly for me. Okay, thanks Uche for the advance congratulations. Good night, everybody. I love you all. I appreciate you, and I do not take anything that you all do for granted. I love you all. Bye for now.